Hey there, welcome to... Is this happening? No, okay. Sorry. Hey there, welcome to the Loose Lemire channel. I always want to say the Loose Lemire show. Let's see what's coming up in your days ahead. Week ahead. For some of you, some of what I say might be something that's recently happened as well. That's like already happened in recent days past. So this may still have a message for you. What's coming up in the week ahead? For the beautiful person watching this, what's coming up ahead? Okay, obviously, we have metamorphosis, and metamorphosis is exactly as it sounds. It's about change. This is typically the death card. Really, it's just another way of saying the meaning of the death card. It's about changing from one state of being to another, changing from one behavior to another, changing from one form into another form that's better suited. It's a certain death, and sometimes these deaths are spiritual deaths, dying to an idea, dying to something that you've been aiming on doing. For some of you in the week ahead, you might change your mind about something you've been learning, something you've been taking up, something that you want to study, changing your mind over even studying, if you will be studying, maybe for some of you making advancements in your studying. Maybe something finally clicks from how it was to how you now understand it to be. Okay, I think I'll talk about these things individually and then talk about them as a group. There could be, for others of you, I think I'll just go with the flow and see where the flow takes me. There could be some discovery that you find out that changes how you've been viewing something or doing something, or how you haven't been doing something. There's just something changing with knowledge. Maybe a discovery of something opens up your mind to a new path, a new way of being. Either way, this is a change, and this is actually a good change, it's looking like this week. With spark here, it does seem like my reading is really linear. It's like they all connect. It's one story, but I will try to break off in different stories. So stay tuned and see what might come up for you. Sorry if you hear that echo in the background. I cannot help it. This change might lead to this new knowledge, this new sort of opening for you. This new information might lead you to do something, to revive something that was dead with this spark here. Some creativity inside you. I feel like a fire is lit inside of you this in the next coming days. With protecting treasure in the reverse and the One Ring Circus here, I feel like you're going to be out of your element for sure. But it also feels like the parts of you that want to stay back, the parts of you that want to stay in the cocoon, the parts of you that are used to being a caterpillar, are going to be struggling a little bit with the wings of the butterfly, right? Like sort of like a baby giraffe that's learning to walk. And I feel like you'll kind of be feeling a sense of loneliness. Okay, a sense of loneliness from seeing clearly or seeing the path that you're taking on something, or now that you know something, you have maybe other people don't agree, or they don't vibe with it, or they don't understand it, or something like that. You kind of feel like maybe you might be abandoning others with protecting treasure here. You might be abandoning someone or some people in order for you to fly instead of crawl, right? So let's look and see a little bit more deeper into each of these messages here. I want to clarify these with some tarot for your week ahead. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles, okay. Man, these cards are out here flying today. Like, spare me. Yeah, definitely something is lighting up in you in the coming days, or maybe you discovered something in the recent past, and yeah, is coming. Maybe you discovered something in the recent past, recently, today, in the next coming days, that really makes you wake up. With the Four of Cups in the reverse here, clarifying the spark card, I think there is definitely a part of you that's reviving the indifference, the loss, I don't want to say the sadness, but there is a sense of sadness with the Four of Cups, because it's just this emptiness, you know? And in such a full world, to feel so empty, to feel so uneasy, to feel so indifferent, it is a sadness to me. It's different from the feeling of that, but on the positive side, where it's a more nirvana, I'm at peace. Peace and emptiness, I feel like, are similar. They're two sides of the same coin. They're definitely from the same family tree, possibly just twins, that just, there's something different about them. That little line there, that is the difference between feeling empty and feeling at peace. But let's look at this Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Big things popping, little things stopping. I love this for you. This is a change. Look, don't come up in here and say Luz Lemire doesn't read, baby. Luz Lemire is connected. Look, Luz Lemire may not read. Okay, look, I see the comments sometimes. I hear you, and sometimes I be watching. I'm like, oh God. But Spirit is here. Spirit is definitely here. Little things stopping, big things popping. There's an ending here. Metamorphosis is changing from one form into another. Baby, the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Pentacles, that's a big ass change. That's a big change. That's going from air, mental energy, to the physical realm, the physical space. That's very different. That's so just a true deep death change. So either something that you've been thinking to death about is finally taking action in the biggest way possible and jutting you forward, like pushing you forward. Obviously, it's going to depend on your life, what this thing might be. I do believe it's something that is connected to this knowledge, this education here, and a realization, a knowing of something that maybe you've been studying. Maybe for some of you, you're graduating. You know, maybe for some of you, you've studied enough and you finally crossed over the threshold from being caterpillar student to butterfly professional. The Nine of Wands here tells me this is something that's been pending, something that's been, maybe you've been knowing about it and you finally cracked it open for some time, for a while now. Two of Pentacles in reverse, something is being dropped, something is being left behind. This is more Eight of Cups energy, but it's almost like the things that you've been juggling, you don't want to juggle anymore. You want to focus on one thing. And to me, with this clarifying protecting treasure, there is something that you are leaving behind. You're leaving that other pentacle. And there, to me, feels to be a sadness here of leaving that other pentacle. But it really could just be knowing that you're leaving one dream to focus fully on another. Right? And sometimes that's just a realization where you go, okay, well, I guess it's going to be this path. Making some kind of decision has been made here. The Seven of Swords in reverse is so fitting for the One Ring Circus, because this is sort of taking that on and seeing the effect of that. I'm going to read the One Ring Circus to you in the reverse, because I feel like that's actually really key to somebody. Do you think the sun won't rise without you? Then it's time to change. Perhaps you believe no one will be there to help you, or you expect that you have to do all the work, emotional or otherwise, towards this thing or person that you're leaving behind. I'm not seeing any people here necessarily. It feels like more of a mental state of being. This could be something that someone who you think you have to be there for. Maybe for some of you there is, but you're definitely leaving something behind, and that's the struggle here. Big things are popping off for you. Things are happening for you. Maybe your schedule is being filled up, your dance card is being filled up, but there's some things that are going to suffer, right? What is the exchange for what you're stepping into? And you're going to be trying to like do it all or hold on to certain things, but I feel like you'll definitely be sort of seeing a side where you're like, I have to make a choice in this moment. And you're still looking back with the Seven of Swords at the other two things, right? The other things that your mind is on while you're trying to move forward with the most of your thoughts. Does that make sense? Receiving the One-Ring Circus card may indicate the misuse of power. Give it up. Let go of the need to control how the wind blows. Seven of Swords, definitely some sense of control there too. Things will get done if you step out of your own way. Yet another meaning is someone else maybe trying to control you. Okay, Seven of Swords, maybe you do find out about somebody who has been trying to keep you down or trying to just protect you in a way that isn't protecting. You know, it's like when we have fat around us and we want to lose weight, or that fat is sort of there to protect us from the energies of the world, from our sorrows, right? That's how it was built. It's a protective layer. So, but then we look at it as bad. So it could be like that. Maybe a person in your life that you discover this week. Again, I'm not seeing people here. Nobody popped up, but I didn't shuffle more. But there could be some epiphany that you have this week over some advice that you've gotten, or a path that you used to follow that someone else may have recommended or whatever. And you sort of break free from that and go, no, I think I'm going to do something different. It doesn't always have to be negative, but it could be. You know, it could be somebody who is trying to protect you from the world and therefore protected you from things that were actually good for you in addition. However that sits, and that's something that you're trying to let go of to really fully embrace. Maybe bad advice, aka advice that's not the best for you. So, you know, someone else may be trying to control you. This needs to be addressed. Don't be afraid to set a boundary. This is a wonderful step to interdependence. Consider the example, I don't really get that, but the example of two trees planted side by side, sharing the sunlight equally, neither overshadowing the other. Okay, whatever. I feel like that's the worst example, but I think there's definitely something here that will be a bit difficult to loosen from. Let's look a bit at protecting treasure. Do you easily give your loyalty to those who haven't earned it? This is a time to assess your personal loyalties and discern whether they're being returned in kind. Some relationships are made for convenience and some favor one side over the other. Vulnerability born of fear may lead to being taken advantage of. Perhaps the imbalance in your relationships is due to a conscious choice you've made. If so, make sure you aren't being hurt by the arrangement. If you believe you've found some kind of protective refuge, be aware that there may be a price to pay. You may also need to reassess whether you're compromising yourself in any way to achieve what is an illusion of safety. Be true to your dream and remember that angels will bring the right people your way to further the path of your highest good. Remain cautious and be conscious of the give and take in all relationships and projects at this time. Don't give away the farm for a smile. So maybe this does have to do with another person, for real. If that's the case, I feel like there's still something is being, given up. Something is being, put aside over the favor of one thing this week. Over, the favor of something else, a different choice. Is there anything else you want to tell us about this week? Ahead or the days ahead? The sun in reverse. I love this because I was getting this for this message and I was like, did the sun come up or was that another reading I was doing? I think it was a personal reading that came up that I was doing right before this reading. And when this said that the sun, do you believe the sun won't rise without you? And I was like, yeah, I saw the sun, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't know if it was this reading or what. But with the sun showing up in the reverse for me, I feel like, and if I do rewind it to this, something that I will pose to you is the sun may not rise without you, proverbially. Maybe there are some tasks that once you let them go, they won't be done. And, what are the consequences of those? And it feels like there's going to be a feeling of the true the consequences of you not being the reason the sun shines. And you get to see what that looks like, for better or for worse. Sometimes it's not as bad as you thought. Other people pick up the slack, or, whatever. What else? If I look at this, judgment. Okay, I'm trying to read this individually. I'm like, okay, the sun's in the reverse. Well, you might have a cold day, it might be a cold day. You might have sunny days and cold nights. But it's all connecting with the judgment. This is pretty much what we're saying, this exchange for, how something has been, this metamorphosis for something else, this Ten of Swords, exchanging these thoughts for something more concrete, exchanging these ideas that you've thought to death about, you've thought over and over and over again, and finally seeing them manifest into something, or choosing to do something more concrete than something more, or being involved in something that's more concrete than just ethereal or mental or spiritual, right? Something that's actually tangible, and something that may have to do with your health, something that may have to do with your finances, your actual body, your finances, and the stability in your life, your home. And that exchange, what are you willing to give up in order to get this other thing? Tell me more about education. Is this death? Okay, King of Cups. Okay, tell me more about education. The Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah. With the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups in reverse, I feel like this could be someone else as well. Maybe you do find out something about somebody, and how they use their stuff. But I feel like this, I don't know. With the Ace of Cups, this is almost because there is water here as well. I feel like this is mist, but also water, right? The Ace of Cups in reverse. This feels like, I don't know, not taking emotional bait, I feel like this is a cerebral, mental extravaganza. But at the same time, with the King of Cups, it's still not taking emotional bait, because as the ruler of emotion, as the ruler of creativity, as the ruler of all things emotional and feely, he wouldn't take emotional bait. He would be able to understand things in an emotionally intelligent way, and not sort of and see the bigger picture than just the one thing. But I do see this cup being emptied, right? The Four of Cups, both cups are in reverse. This has got no cups. It's so weird that the King of Cups came out. But I love it because it does correlate to this spark here. And that's funny because this is card 35, spark is card 34. And with these cups both in the reverse, and this ace in reverse, and this ace in reverse as well, it just tells me a very interesting story about what's being dumped out for higher pursuit. So in an elevated glance. So this looks like your week. Let me know how it goes. Keep your light on and good luck.